Brother G World 7_D. Here's the book, The Aboriginal Black Olmec Civilization by Anu Bantu. All right. This is a very thin book, but I want to teach something real quick. Okay, who were the Olmecs? The Olmec civilization was an advanced culture that developed in the Mexican states of Veracruz and Tabasco, around the Gulf of Mexico. It existed between 1200 BC and 400 BC and was the forerunner of the later Mesoamerican civilizations. It was based on developments in a region that took place between 2000 BC and 1200 BC. The main urban centers were Leventa and San Lorenzo and Tres Zipots. They were responsible for building the first pyramid in Mesoamerica at Leventa, a city thought to have housed 18,000 people. We are told of this settlement. It is the premeditated architectural layout of the religious centers of these settlements that is most striking. For example, Leventa, the buildings are placed symmetrically along a north-south axis with four colossal heads, facing outwards at key points, seemingly acting as guardians to the complex. And I'm going to skip on a little bit further over. The Olmec civilization used intricate trading networks to generate huge profits for the elite. They traded well-crafted pottery, jade, rubber, obsidian, and polished mirrors as far as central Mexico to the north and Honduras to the south. We were also told by the Science magazine that the Olmec measured a sophisticated technique for making asphalt, crucial to sealing wooden boats, and they traded a valuable substance to others. This feature of the Olmec trade suggested the importance of water transport in Mesoamerican activity. What did the Olmec eat? Wild animals were hunted, such as turkey, pheasant, partridge, fowl, armadillo. Marine resources were also intensely exploited, like fish, waterfowl, shellfish, and turtles. In addition, they kept domestic animals such as dogs, turkeys, and bees. The soils around the coastal Gulf of Mexico were well-watered and fertile. They were tilted to grow maize, beans, and squash. Such a rich food environment was able to sustain a high population density. This is what led to the development of the first urban centers in Mesoamerica. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, an engraved stone slab with symbols was found near San Lorenzo in the late 1990s. The Cascaja stone, as it came to be known, dates to around 900 BC. In 1986, the La Marjara stela was found covered with 465 glyphs or symbols. It has been used to help understand the language of the Olmec script. As in many cases, the initial civilization was overrun by former satellites now strong enough to rebel against the overlords. This happened between 400 and 300 BC. Evidence of the Olmec's overthrow includes the damage and destruction visited by Leventa and San Lorenzo, which, according to Cartwright, was systematic and deliberate. All right, now I want to show you some things about the Olmecs. All right, show you some pictures and break some stuff down. Now, when you study the Olmecs, this is the picture of original reconstruction of New Zealand. Now, you know the museum burned down and did another reconstruction, made the person white. And he tried to explain away, saying that they made mistakes and Walter Neves didn't know what he was doing. Excuse me, that's nonsense. All right. There's a concerted effort to downplay or lie about the Aboriginal presence that was already here. How, I said it before in my other videos, how black people were all the way here from Argentina, which is now Argentina, all the way to Canada. Because you had a black belt here in the Americas. So it wasn't just in what you call South America, it was in so-called Central America and North America. All right. Negroes are already here. And this is near the same cave of New Zealand. Now notice his lips are thinner. But this is the original reconstruction. As you see, he's a Negro. All right. I'm going to go and make some points right here. Now here's a picture from Michael Cole's book, of the Olmecs. This is from Michael Cole's book. And they show you the picture of this mestizo guy. All right. Now, obviously, he would have some features, but he wouldn't be fully. Now, they try to pass this off, say this is how the Olmecs looked in ancient times. This is a lie. Because you look at a lot of the Olmecs pictures they rock braids in their hair or a freaking afro without the helmet. All right, this man will carry some features because he's mixed. You had your black population who was ancient there, and then you had other groups coming in, mixing in, and starting to dilute the black population here, lightening up certain regions. But there's certain features that are still pronounced that are still there. Because I studied this all my life. There's certain features. So-called black people come in every different feature and structure. But what white scholars try to do is make them come in one type of structure. That's why they came with the true Negro thing, to pinpoint and say black folks look that one way, while these other features which black folks or indigenous have, unmixed black folks have, they're not black. But this is one true Negro, which is very pronounced nose and pronounced lips. When you look at this guy, he has black in him. You can see the mouth and even the nose. But he's been diluted. You can see the paler skin, even though you always had lighter skinned Negroes. All right, some Negroes keep claiming that you have light skinned blacks due to raping by white folks. That's a goddamn lie, because you always had light skinned blacks. All right, here's another image. You see this guy's mixed. You see he has some Negro up in him, and this is an Olmec, which is a pure-blooded black man, Aboriginal black man. This guy's mixed. If you cannot tell that you do not have the trained eye. I have the trained eye to know this, because I've been studying this for years. Here's another image that they show. They try to pass off this mixed Asiatic man and pass him off as an Olmec, because there's certain features they may still carry, but the Olmecs rock the woolly and braids in their hair. It was unique to so-called Negroes. Now here's a picture of an African professor, and they show images of Olmecs. Now he looked like one of the Olmec heads. Right there, look at him. Now also look at his eyes. He has those little slight folded eyes. But you look at his nose. There's certain features that are just uniquely so-called Negro, with a very a wider nose and a thicker lips. But also, he doesn't have as wide as his nose is slightly a little bit more narrow than this guy. All right, the noses come very different among so-called black people. Then he has a scarification on him too, right here. All right. Here's images of Olmecs. Now the problem with a lot of these white scholars, when they see the Olmecs, they just say, oh, these are Africans, so they came from Africa. Not understanding that the original people of America were also black too. So by them constantly saying they were African, you're saying they were foreigners that coming over here, instead of acknowledging the fact that the original people here look like they was the same melanated people, same type of, they were melanated people like they were in Africa, but they were a different group of Negroes. All right. Look at this picture of the Olmec right here. The Olmec were these heads are obviously carved of Negro people, man. This is really not up for debate. All right. And I'm going to go to another picture. Look at that. Now, you've seen the Olmecs before, but they're showing these pictures of these people over in Africa. I guess they can actually show you people in America, but they're showing these individuals from Africa in this gentleman's book. And look at this, the guy. Look at his features. They showing his side images. And here the Olmecs. And all his features are similar. These are not Mongoloid people. These weren't not Mongoloid people. These were straight up Negro people. Like I said, the Olmecs. And it's pictures of one of my older books. I showed you one of the Olmecs had an afro. Several of them had. Now this is the braided style. This is a unique hairstyle that's worn by so-called Negro. All right, look at the braided style. And that's a Nuba woman. Look at the braided style. This is a hairstyle that worn by Negroes of several different places in Africa and in the Americas. And I'm going to go back and show you this guy. This guy don't look nothing like the image I showed you on the Olmec with the braids. This is how you can break that down to how these bastards are lying. They know that a lot of these people have been mixed over the years, and they'll still carry certain features that black folks have. You see it with a lot of Greek people today. A lot of them look like mulattoes as well as Italians. They look like fixed mulattoes, like them people in North Africa. They look like fixed mulattoes. They've been basically mulattoized over time through so much mixing. All right. The Olmecs were originally indigenously Negro people. Now, the reason I'm saying this and I'm doing this video this way, I'm doing it kind of fast because I keep hearing Negroes keep saying that black people are stupid to say they're the original people here. And I'm hearing some people online saying this. anyone who's telling you that majority of our people came from the slave trade, they're just flat out ignorant, man. That's all I got to say. They have not done no real research. They have not done no studying. And they're just showing how ignorant they are, man. You had one dude calling people goofies and stuff, but he sounds like an ignorant New Yorker, man. I'm telling you, the information is there, but you got to do the research. Perfect example. You hear the term FBA. And I don't really use the term, but I understand it. That term is right now being hijacked by Pan-Africans. Because if I remember what Tariq said, he said FBA stood for was Financial Black Americans, and which he took the term from Dr. Claude Anderson when he used the term Indigenous Black Americans, I believe. He used the term foundation, and he said Black Aboriginals, Black Explorers, basically Black Europeans. All right, Black Europeans and so-called Africans. There weren't many Africans that came here. All right, doing no slavery. Excuse me, my voice is a little hoarse. But what these Pan-Africans are doing, since they know people are banning Pan-African, they come into so-called FBA and trying to say that we're FBA are descendant of African slaves, when if you look at when Tariq even said FBA, he said Aboriginal, Black Explorers, which is Black Europeans, and Africans. And he even admitted there weren't that many Africans that came here. The original slaves were the so-called Negroes, your Indian Negroes that were already here. That they obviously didn't call themselves Negroes, they called themselves the nations that they're from. And most black people are from the Mississippi Southeast region. That's where a lot of us are descended from. Now, I ain't said all of us, but a lot of us are descended from. And obviously, black Europeans who expelled, particularly them black Catholics. All right? When you have, like I said, when you have not really studied this, you just continue to think what white folks have told you, that you came from as a slave, that you just brought over on a slave ship. It's more complex and deeper than that. All right, if you look at my other videos, I break down the various different black folks who are in the world, who are the original people, and how they built boats and ships globally. I showed you people in the Pacific Islands how they built small little boats and ships. I showed you like them black people, the Lapota people over in the Pacific Islands building boats and ships. How a lot of those Australian blacks who built boats and ships. This was done globally. So it was constant exploring. When you say you just a descendant of African slaves, you say you're too stupid to navigate the damn planet, that it took the white man to bring you over here. And when you hear these Negroes doing that, man, they just showing you how ignorant they are. You should not listen to them, man. And some of these dudes are obviously some informers, man, some agents, and they're selling you out, man. Those guys from the Amon Ra squad are idiots. And some of these clowns on YouTube are very ignorant because they don't put in the effort to do the study and the research. Because the information's there. I just gave you a simplistic book written by a brother. All right. This is a very thin book, but it still gives you some good information because you show you the pictures and some of the facial structures that you see on these particular Negroes. Mostly they have a Nuba people. These particular Negroes, and they're comparing their facial structure to the Omechi. All right. These people were so black that Stevie Wonder could see that. All right. But when you have so many people who've been so conditioned and they refuse to see the truth, that they just want to believe in lie, that's a problem. And so we have to battle that. So even with the term FBA, that's been hijacked right now by Pan-Africans and Negroes who just want to be, quote,